is Reel to Reel Podcast. Real stories, real sports. And here's your host, Wube Gabre.
Welcome to season 2 of Reel to Reel. We have another special guest. She's a trailblazer. She's a pioneer. She's innovative. She's motivational. And she's just a great all-around athlete and person from the 757. She's a Newport News native. She went to Menchville High School, where she was a standout player of the year in the Peninsula District. Then she went down the road to CNU, and she led the CNU Captains to 3 NCAA tournaments, a Sweet 16 appearance. She was an All-American. She was All-USA South Athletic Conference Player of the Year twice. She led the nation in assists 4 years consecutively. In addition to her assists, she was the first basketball player on any level, male or female, to record 2,000 points and 1,000 assists in her career. She's a 4-time Hall of Famer. She's coached at schools like the Apprentice School, Old Dominion, Elon, UNC, Wilmington, just to name a few. But the most important tidbit of all is that we share a birthday, March 6th. We're Pisces babies, girl.
Pisces.
Let's get it.
Hey, real. That's real right
that's
there.
real. That's real. When I found that out, I was like, oh, I'm a bigger fan than I was before.
Absolutely.
But look, it's my pleasure. This is awesome. I've been looking forward to this for a long time. I know a lot of people that know her personally and have said so many great things about her. It's my pleasure to welcome Miss Karen Barefoot to the show. Coach, I still call you Coach because you've been all over and back, but we're going to talk about what you're doing now. You're writing a book. You have Barefoot Motivation. But I just want to thank you for coming on.
I am so excited. I mean, anytime you talk about where you've been, 757, it's like, it's in my blood. So it's so awesome to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, you have so many memorabilia and artifacts behind you. You got your jersey, you got the 1,000th win, and we're going to talk about that later at Old Dominion. But before we get into that, Coach, it all started somewhere, right? It started in Newport News, Virginia. Talk to me about growing up in Newport News.
It's just passion all in the 757 area. When I was 6 years old, my brother threw a ball in my hands. I made it in the backyard. From there, I wanted to be like him. I wanted to be like my grandfather. My grandfather played for Newport News High School for the famous Julie Kahn. My grandfather went on to win a state championship. My grandfather has his own baseball stadium named after him, Lem Wheeler Stadium, right there in Huntington Park. He was just the man of the year by the Peninsula Sports Club. So I knew that I had to follow his footsteps.
Right.
And I wanted to make my own footprints. My last name's Barefoot.
I like that.
Yeah. So at an early age, I just knew that it was going to be about the orange ball blessings, that the fact that I had to go out there and represent my family, where I'm from. Mm-hmm. And that orange ball has given me so much.
Absolutely, Coach. It's a lot to things to go over with you. But after that, you went to Menchville High School. And I know, growing up, there weren't many opportunities for women. So when you got to Menchville, you're playing with all females. You've been groomed, by your older brother and your family. So when you get to Menchville, you had success. You guys went to states. Talk to me about, playing at Menchville. And when you got there, what were your emotions like?
Well, to get there, it took everything. And my brother, he taught me love tough, never tough love. He always told me, I'm going to love you, but it's going to be tough. And I'm going to teach you how to play with the guys, because there was no opportunities for females until I got closer to high school. And I was ready, and I stayed ready. So when I got there, it was an easy transition for me to just fit in right away and play with so many talented players. Mm-hmm. I can't tell you how many players that I played with. And Menchville was just getting started. They hadn't really won a lot, but was getting started. I knew that I was going to go in there and put my own footprint. I was able to be a point guard, a leader, being able to do good things, lead the program to some milestone victories and wins, things like that. And along the way, I got a chance to meet this legend, this GOAT, Boo Williams, which made me better along that journey. I was Boo Williams' maid when I got to college because, man, I had to put the knee pads on. I had to be the high five girl, floor burned, clean. I had to do it all just to earn my opportunity, even to play with them. So that's kind of where I learned how to, mingle with a lot of talent in the area, both sides, girls and boys. And I'm telling you, it's just an unbelievable area.
It is. I love it. And Boo is, I mean, he is the GOAT. I mean, so many people have told me some great stories about him. He's the man. So you leave Menchville, and I talked to you about this off camera. You had so many opportunities, Coach, to go to other places, but you chose to stay home. Your twin sister went there with, I don't know if there's a little influence. Yeah. I don't know if there's a little influence of why you went to CNU, but why did you ultimately choose CNU, Coach, when you had other choices to go not only to other universities, but maybe bigger universities as well?
Yeah, I visited even Old Dominion's campus. I mean, I was really high on Richmond, Wake Forest. There was a lot of schools. And to me, it didn't matter about the level. It was the right coach and the right fit.
Right.
And plus, I love the community so much. I wanted to be somebody who could really stand out in the community and do something that's never been done before. And Coach Kathy Parsons, sold me on that vision, sold me on the dream. And I have no regrets. I mean, she made me who I am today. She made me ready when I was the young head coach at 22 years old. And I had such a great experience. I mean, I remember Christopher Newport, seeing Lee Martin over there in the gym, doing spider and all that ball handling stuff. I had to steal some of that from him. And
Lee was nice like that. I only heard stories, so he was nice, huh?
Unbelievable. I mean, he had a game. I'm telling you.
Okay.
He taught me the different speeds, honestly, how to stop, and explode, create space, all that kind of stuff. So watching Steve Artis, his younger sister came in, Tina Martin was a great player, helped us beat Hampton University. That was like a big old brawl. Everyone was in the middle circle celebrating that win.
Sure.
We just, CNU was a place for me. It was family. And I can't explain to you like the atmosphere to go to a game. I mean, if you didn't get there an hour early, you weren't gonna have a seat.
Man, that's awesome. And I've been to a few games recently. The new gym, the new campus is beautiful. I'm sure you got a chance to see it since you've left.
Oh, yeah. My former assistant coach at Elon is the head coach at CNU.
Okay.
Basketball. So, he wanted that job, and I talked to CJ Willem about that position, and he got it. He's done a great job there.
I mean, who wouldn't get a recommendation from a Hall of Famer? I mean, come on, they got to listen to you, Coach. That recommendation was spot on. He's doing a great job. I mean, they were at one point, I think, number one in the country this past season.
Number one this year. It was remarkable.
Yep. So you had success, Coach. You were an All-American, two-time Player of the Year in the conference. Again, I mentioned you were the first ever to have 2,000 points, 1,000 assists, male or female, any division. I know you're a system and a team player, but come on, Coach, those individual accomplishments, and they retired your number. You're in the Hall of Fame. What does all that mean to you after all these years?
It means that there's just a lot of relationships that went with it.
Right.
Being a part of a team is so special. Having your teammates as sisters for life means something to me. The fans are a big part of what you do. The teachers, everybody that invests everything in you. And I always say A before B, academics for basketball. I mean, there's so much that goes along with just being a student athlete. I don't care what level you're at, everybody's important. So I kind of take everybody with me throughout this journey. And whatever I do, it doesn't matter what I'm doing, right. I want to represent everybody. And it does. It comes back to 757. It comes back to seeing a dream and looking at the dream come true.
That's well said, Coach. And again, before we move on, you led the nation in assists 4 straight years. You even led the nation in steals as well. So you were just an all-around great player. I got to ask you, though, after your college days, I know you went right into coaching, but was there ever a thought of going overseas or playing some kind of professional ball?
Yeah, I mean, that was the hardest decision probably of my life. I had a guy from Next Level Sports, an agent, Michael Gardner, who got me an opportunity, a dream. I mean, to go over there and play in Sweden. And I was so excited about it because at the time there was no WNBA. WNBA right. came in 1997, even though I got invited to that training camp and went while I was coaching, but ended up turning that down and staying to coaching. That's a whole different story. Right. But there was not many opportunities. You had to go overseas. And I really liked where I was going to go. This athletic director saw something to me. The president of Newport News Shipbuilding saw something to me, and they had never had any women's sports at the Apprentice School since 1919. And I've had so many, my dad, my uncles, granddad, all of them go through the Apprentice School. And to be honest with you, even growing up, I even considered the Apprentice School as an option for me to go play. But there was only a guys team. There wasn't a girls team, because if you look at what they have to offer, it's unbelievable.
Oh,
you have careers and all that kind of stuff. So it's just an amazing opportunity. So I took a leap of faith.
Yep.
You know, I really reached out to a lot of people like Wendy Larry, Pat Summit, and Pat Summit, believe it or not, wrote me back, called me. I still
Nice.
have her letter and all that. And
Awesome.
Donovan, all the great
Yep.
coaches that have been in coaching at a young age. And I really was kind of torn. But then I wanted to go back to my why in life. You know, you wake up every day and you're like, why do I do this? Because that's your passion.
Right.
And so for me, it was like, all right, I'm going to do this. I'm going to, you know, make something happen. And, you know, just very thankful that an athletic director saw my leadership, you know, saw me on the floor. You never know who's watching you.
Never.
You know, I was always a person, no matter what, shake your hand, interact with people, you know, carry myself very, very well. That's how I was raised.
Yep.
No matter what, in the day, you got to be a good sport. You got to be a good person. You got to help people out. You got to open the door for people. Those things are very, very important. So I think that those opportunities, they saw something in me besides just playing, that I could actually lead a team at 22 years old with no experience, you know, and, what a vision that, you know, we all had together. I mean, who would have thought 6 years later won the first school's national championship? I could go on and on and on, but those girls really bought in. I mean, I had 6 players my first year. You know how many games that I had to finish the game with 4 players? And all I kept running was box, box, box. I mean,
you probably thought, what did I get myself into at that point, right?
Yeah, but you know, I was relentless. You know,
Yep.
my first win, I kissed the floor and I was like, I belong. I mean,
That's
so,
right.
you know, it's orange ball blessings.
And again, like you mentioned, 24-3 national champions, national coach of the year on your end. And then success, you know, builds, you know, once you get success, coach, people start watching. Like you said, you never know who's watching you. So you go to the Division II level, Hickory, North Carolina. You were there for 4 years. Talk to me about leaving home, the Apprentice School, Newport News native. You go to North Carolina, start your head coaching career at the Division II level.
Well, I've really not been that person to seek jobs.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I kind of like had, you know, administrators or call me and ask me if I was interested, wanted to talk to me. And that was an opportunity that they had never won before. And so I liked the area. I liked the conference. I liked the athletic director. And I thought that, you know, we could do big things. And again, what I did was I recruited some North Carolina players, but I went back to 757.
Always.
And then Crystal Clary, who ended up being an All-American for me. She got inducted to Lenoir Rhyne's Hall of Fame. How about that?
Awesome.
Lanika Williams, who was unbelievable shooter. She came in our program, and believe it or not, there's this play, and everybody still asks about that play. We were down 4 points, 4 seconds in the tournament. How do we win to come back? We're down 4 points, 4 seconds. Well, you know what you do? You put the ball in Lanika's hands, and she was MVP of the tournament and all that. So, I mean, again, it was just an honor to be able to, again, bring in a group that really bought in, and it was fun.
I'm sure it was. And then you go from there to my alma mater. You know, you have the shirt to show. We're going to talk about that in a minute, but you're an assistant under Coach Wendy Larry. What was that? First of all, what was the phone call like for Wendy Larry to call you and ask you to come on board?
Well, we always kept in contact.
Okay.
So 10 years of coaching, 6 years Division III, you know, 3 years, 6 years at Division III, 4 years at Division II, that's 10 years.
Right.
And I've had 10 winning seasons. And so I was like, you know, and I got the first ever NCAA appearance for Lenoir Rhyne. So I was like, you know, Wendy called me. We've always called. So it's a mutual kind of thing. We were just talking about how we're doing. We check on each other. And I thought, wow, it'd be great to learn underneath the legend. I mean, what the things that she's done, about, you know, Tisha Pinachero and Mary Andrade, Clarice Mashawana, you name it, the list goes on and on and on. They went to the Final Four in 1997. I just wanted to get underneath her leadership and learn and help her get to be top 25 again. And that was my whole goal when I took the job. So to be able to go in there and help her win 3 championships, which, you know, she won 17 straight, 15 straight until I got there, or 14 straight, and then I'm 15, 16, 17.
Right.
It was just so great to be a part of her, you know, legacy, because she's just an unbelievable person. And a competitor, you know, just a competitor that knows how to win, knows how to pack the crowds, get that energy going, the historical program. Amazing.
Yeah, I got a chance to know her. And you all the names you mentioned, I was there at that time, you know, Pinachero, Andrade, Nairi Roberts, Natalie Diaz. The list goes on and on. Those were the glory years. Well, not the glorious, but they were some good times. I mean, it was some great times.
Yes.
I noticed behind you, Old Dominion.
Yes.
Yep. Speaking of Old Dominion, you have a famous number behind you that you took leadership of getting number 10. Nancy Lieberman was one of your favorite players. Talk about that. You know, just being able to meet her and play and have a number because of her, number 10.
Yeah. So my granddaddy took me to a game when she was playing for the Generals, and I was young at the time, and she was the only female playing pro. So I was just like, wow, she's better than everybody, and she was playing professional. And I remember sneaking all the way down there through the security guards, all of them, and begging for her autograph. And they were chasing me down. Hey, get this kid out of here! But she gave me her autograph, and I fell in love. I was just like, oh my God, I want to be like her, somewhat like her. So I ended up just, getting number 10. And I told her, I said, my jersey is going to be retired because of you one day. And
look behind you. Look behind you. You know what I mean? That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, Coach Larry and Nancy are just good people. I got a chance to get to know Nancy a little bit recently, but good people to know and good people to have in your corner, Coach. Good to have them. Then you leave Old Dominion and another head coaching position becomes available. You go to Elon. You took them to the first ever postseason in school history. What was that like, leaving Old Dominion, a school you love and people you love, to Elon to be a head coach?
Well, that year, Old Dominion 2008, we finished 8th in the nation, which was impressive. Yep. We had a heck of a year. Second winningest year in ODU history, believe it or not. I mean, there's a lot of great years, but that was an amazing year. And I had 3 other Division I offers besides Elon. So that was a tough decision, but I waited to the end. Yep. I waited to get through everything. I didn't talk to any coach. And then I kind of followed my heart and went with an athletic director that had been a coach before and knew what it took. So I felt like he could be there and help me through. And Dave Blank gave me an unbelievable opportunity. He's like my dad, and he's just really somebody that I've really admired. And it was so great to go in there and just do incredible things. Got the first postseason, play there, ever school history, first 21 season. I mean, just built the program all the way up. And, that program's special to me because Kay Yao started there before she went to NC State.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. So, Kay Yao was somebody I really admired. And I just was like, this is a really good program. And why not? Why can't we get this thing to the top?
Oh man, you definitely did that, Coach. So then there's a trend here: Virginia, North Carolina. So you go to Elon, and then you come back to Old Dominion. This time as a head coach after Coach Wendy Larry leaves. And we're going to talk about your shirt. Old Dominion was the 8th program out of 17 programs, Coach, to get 1,000 wins. So just talk about that success you had there.
Well, out of 351 programs, that's pretty impressive. And
very impressive.
I have a lot of basketballs, but this is pretty special here.
Look at that. Awesome.
Yeah, it's when we played Howard, and it's December 15th, 2015.
Wow.
But this shirt is just represents so many great coaches and players, people. To reach 1,000 program wins. I mean, what an incredible milestone. And that's one of my favorite memories of all time, because even though I was the coach to do it, there's just Mary Ann Stanley. There's just so many people involved. Yeah. And that's a day I'll never forget. And this shirt is very special to me. And so I had to wear it for you, just for you.
I appreciate it. I'm an ODU grad, ODU alum. So that means a lot to me. I didn't actually, and of course I was there, in the 95 to 99. So I got a chance to see some great basketball. I got a chance to watch some games later on. I was actually at the TED when you were an assistant, when we beat UVA, and the TED was, oh my God, it was electric that night.
I had that scout.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Believe it or not, and I will tell you this is true. Before the game, I told Jazz Walter she was going to hit the big shot.
Oh man!
Ask her, bring her on and ask her. And she was like,
I'm gonna try to get
Coach. Now you understand UVA was ranked high. I don't even know the nation. We weren't even supposed to have a chance against them.
Right.
But anyway, it ended up working our way. It was unbelievable. One of the best games I've ever saw in women's basketball history, not just Old Dominion.
Yeah. I mean, the place was on fire that night.
Yes.
So you leave Old Dominion, Coach, go back to North Carolina, like I said, to UNC Wilmington. You go to the beach down there, and you had a pretty good career there as well, Coach.
Yes, I mean, it was really hard to leave Old Dominion.
Yeah.
And I had so many great years there, so many great wins, so many great, postseason plays, stuff like that. But I wanted to build this program because my father and my uncle are born in Wilmington.
I didn't know that. Okay.
And that's why I was really torn because I think Old Dominion is such an incredible program. I mean, it gives me chill bumps when I come back and see my name on the practice floor with all the great coaches, the men and the women's side. I mean, that means so much to me. I have so many great relationships with them. I mean, my gosh, I spent 9 years of my life there, 3 as an assistant, 6 as a head coach. And so it was hard, but I wanted to do something that has never been done before. So coming here and trying to build a foundation was great, because our first year here, we had the best start in 10 years. Second year, we broke so many records. I can't even say. So I look at the little things that we've done here, because a lot of people involved, Sharita Parker, Gigi Smith, 757, they came here along with some great players, and we really built this program. And so at least I know for me, I can sit there and say we built a foundation here.
You did, Coach. And like I said before, so many people said great things about you. C. Hud, when I told him I was going to interview you, he got that's my guy. He got so excited. Oh, I love her. I love Karen. I love Coach. So, I mean, like I said, you left a legacy everywhere you went, but especially at Old Dominion and women's and places like that. I know you're pretty excited about that. But moving on, Coach, now you have Barefoot Motivation. You're writing a book. You're doing big things after coaching. I got to ask you, though, Coach, is coaching in the future, though? I mean, I know you have great things going on with the motivation, Barefoot Motivation in the book, but are you going to get back on the sideline?
I think every day I could probably get about 2 calls.
Oh,
and,
wow.
Yeah, I've had about over 20 really good opportunities to get back on the sideline. And right now, what I'll tell everybody, I'm not saying I'll cancel it out, but right now I needed to reset, recharge, refocus, and I wanted to do things that I've never done before. I have been coaching since 22 years old, 27 years straight. I haven't even took a break since 22 years old.
Yeah.
And building programs and doing it, the way that, athletic directors want to see it be done. I've got an extension in my contract everywhere I've been.
Right.
And that makes me proud. There's so many great things. So this is my time to pay it forward. Thank people. Right. I can't wait to get my book. I'm going to be my editor in a couple of weeks. We're going to finish it up. I can't wait to get that out there and hopefully inspire everybody by, what it takes, being bold, being brave, and being barefoot, which is leaving your own footprints and legacy.
I love that.
It's all about, orange ball blessings, being blessed, lessons with it, takeaways and all that. So in Barefoot Motivation, I've been speaking at big companies. I've been speaking at helping other people out. And that's something I've always done, but I'm so proud to be an owner now that I actually can say that. And so I got my own calendar because it got to be really full, my schedule. So I'm trying to balance it all right now. So when I do come back, and if I do go to the sideline, it's all about timing. It's all about that. And God has me. So I'm excited.
Well, I knew you were busy when we were doing the email thing. You were like, I get so many emails. I said, I figured you got a lot of calls coming. But just to let you know, that was one of the questions that people told me to ask you if you were coming back. I guess that's how much people love to see you on the sideline with your energy and your passion. And I got a few requests for that question. So I just want to let you know.
I've even had guys call me God coaches, if that lets you know. I mean, I've had it all. So right now I'm just kind of processing everything. So
when it happens, I want to be the first interview when you get back on the sideline. All right. Got me? All right, cool.
I gotcha.
All right. Wrapping it up, Coach. This has been great though. My last segment, I call this Keeping It Real. Few quick hitters thrown at you, put you on the spot a little bit. Come on, let's do it. You ready? Let's have some fun.
Yes.
All right, Coach. You've been around a few schools now. So give me the best recruiting visits you've had.
Wow, great question. I'm going to tell you one that is very powerful. Okay. Her name is Keisha Joseph. Okay. She played in Virginia Beach, Salem High School for Coach Larry Bowman, legend.
Legend coach.
You know, Coach.
Yes, I do.
I heard about Keisha. I heard she wasn't in school, and I didn't understand that because she won a state championship at Salem High School, and I was coaching at the Apprentice School, and I heard she was working at Chinello's Pizza.
Okay. I
said, "There's no way. There's no way no way. She's too talented." So I pulled up in Chinello's Pizza, had my recruiting book, and said, "You and I need to talk." I told the manager, I said, "I'll make the pizzas after and help out, but I need to talk to her."
She's multifaceted, people.
Yeah. So I sat down at the little pizza place and we talked, and I invited her up to the Apprentice School the next week, and we talked. She ends up being an All-American, playing professional in Finland, the first African-American athletic director at the Apprentice School.
Stop.
and then ends up moving all the way up to the top of the company.
See,
Those stories.
I mean, that's what I'm talking about. When that's one of the questions that I love. I mean, I love the answers I love to hear in terms of recruiting. I mean, you know, you hear a lot of people ask questions like that, but that's when it gets serious.
Powerful.
It's cool. Powerful, very powerful.
Because
That's awesome.
it's like when you see something in somebody and you understand who they are and where they came from,
Yep.
for whatever reason, things sometimes don't work out, but there's opportunities, and if people can see them, and I had to, there's no way I was going to let her just have working pizzas.
Yeah,
and I can't even cook, and I told her I was going to cook pizza.
And you were helping out. But another thing, to be serious though, a lot of times they don't see that in themselves. They need somebody on the outside to tell them what's right and what's wrong. And that's why you're a Hall of Famer, Coach. Best player you've played with or against during your career?
Well, best player I played with or against. I love Lakeisha Frett. I'm going to tell you this right now. I think she's one of the greatest to ever play the game.
I agree. Totally.
I'm so honored to have the opportunity when I was a senior to play against her as a freshman, and I had to guard her. And as a 5'6" against a 6 foot plus talented, I mean, I ended up getting Player of the Year that year.
You did.
But honestly, we all knew that she was just going to take it to absolutely another level. So she was a great player. You know, there's been a lot of great players in the area. You know that.
Oh, yeah.
And girl side. I mean, Nikki Reed, you know that. Tosh Abraham from Kickingham. Nikki Reed and Tosh are actually coaching at Georgetown together.
They are.
I think that's a great story. There's so many great stories. We could talk all day about a lot of talent. Gannon Baker's doing great. He's been a great friend of mine.
I love Gannon. I talked to Gannon a few months ago. He was on my show too. Great guy. You guys are similar. You guys have the same energy. I noticed that. Passion. Gannon. He just hyped me up when I was talking to him, and so do you. That's great.
Thank you.
He's from Hampton. Went to UNC Wilmington as well.
Yeah, I would always bring him in my programs, and he'd help out.
Yep.
You know, he is trained a lot and helped me build my program where I've been. So we've been friends ever since. And
757 connection, Coach. That's how it goes. Right.
Alan Iverson.
Come on, man. Tony Rutland. It goes on and on.
Tony.
That's my guy. That's my guy too. He's a good guy. Great. Another humble 757 guy. 4-time Hall of Famer, Coach. Which induction in your eyes was the most humbling?
I mean, I probably would have to say the Apprentice School.
Okay.
Because no one ever thought we could do it.
Right.
No one thought that females could put a hard hat on and wear steel-toe shoes, go to work, and then after work, go play basketball, and then do it again year round.
Yep.
But then you got to think about the vision, and it's an unbelievable program. You get careers, future. I mean, a lot of my players are still in the company. So to me, when I got inducted, I take a lot of people with me because and Bill Cass, who gave me the opportunity, I wouldn't be here.
You would not. That's great. A couple more for you, so we got to run here. But you alluded to it earlier, but if you can expand on what does it mean to be from the 757, Coach? I mean, everybody from here just has so much passion from where they're from, but you personally, what does it mean to be from the 757?
Woo! Tell you, man, that runs deep in my soul.
I know it does.
All the way through and some. I just feel like I can't get beat because I feel like I'm from a tough area that bleeds passion and family, and you outwork people, and you do things the right way. You treat people right. I mean, it's just I take 757 with me everywhere.
I know you do.
757 made.
That's right. Last couple for you. What is in Karen Barefoot's musical playlist? What do you listen to, Coach? What do you rock to these days?
R&B. R&B.
That's right.
Hip hop. I love hip hop.
Okay.
Hey, I just love all that. I just get hyped.
You got to get hyped.
I mean, I do. I really do.
All right. Last question for you, Coach. I follow you on social media. You always have some motivational quotes, and I'm a quote guy. I love quotes, and I live by a lot of quotes. But what's that one go-to quote, go-to motivational speech that you hang your hat on and put in your back pocket that you always kind of refer to?
Dreams don't work unless you do.
That's a good one.
To have fun, you got to earn fun, right?
That's right.
You got to earn it. So you got to work. You got to work for it. So I could give you a whole book.
Oh, I know you could. Hey, save that for the book, though. You got to save the rest for the book.
Yeah.
But I always, Coach, to be real, I always, when I scroll through social media, I see all your quotes, and they always hit my soul. You know what I mean? That's why I love what you're doing on social media as well.
I appreciate that.
Yep.
It's because it's not about me, and it's not about one. I really want to make sure I'm always sending a positive message. And you never know, if I can help one person, that makes me happy.
It does. I'm sure it does. All right, Coach. I know you got to run, and I appreciate you fitting me in. You're busy. You're a 4-time Hall of Famer. I never had a 4-time Hall of Famer on my show. Just to be real, I'll keep it real. But I really appreciate it, Coach. You stepping in and talking to me for a little bit.
Oh, I loved every second.
And we're going to post this. I know you have a lot of followers, so we want everybody to watch this and hear your story. I know the book's coming out, but just to hear a brief story on my podcast, I want people to check it out. So please, everybody watching, please subscribe and check it out.
I love it.
All right. Thanks, Coach. Talk to you soon.
All right. Talk to you.
This episode is sponsored by La Vida Agency. Protect, prepare, plan.